Okay, we talked about the right now we talked about parity. Now let's talk about checksum. It's another method that is used to ensure that data has been transmitted properly or it has developed some faults. And the method is very simple. See, first of all, the checksum will be calculated on the sender's end. The same checksum will be sent to the receiver along with data packet. Checksum will be recalculated on the receiver's end. The two checksum values are going to be matched. If they are equal, it means that data has been sent accurately. If there's any fault, it means that the data has not been sent accurately. So that is a very simple concept that you need to know about checksum, calculation of checksum on the sender's end, sending the data along with checksum to the receiver, again checksum recalculated, comparison done, equal means good enough. Otherwise, it is going to send a message that some problem has occurred. Next method is your echo check. And as the name implies, the data is sent from the sender to the receiver, and the receiver will resend the entire packet back to the sender. And you can see for yourself that that is just like the echo, the way when we are in a room where nothing is there, then we hear our voice back. Similarly, it's not the voice set, it's the data that is sent back to the sender. Now it is the sender's job to compare the two sets of data, the one that is sent earlier and the one that it has received lately. And the two values or the two values are matched. If they are equal, it means that data has been accurately sent. Otherwise, there is a problem. So this is how the whole checksum works, the whole echo check works, and there is a very simple method. Again, a caution that you need to know is you need to prepare this topic specifically for just drawing and annotating a diagram. A very simple concept, not a difficult one. Similarly, you need to prepare the simplex and half duplex also for this topic. Another one is check digit. And check digit is also a method that is used to ensure that you are sending the data accurately or has it developed some faults. Check digit can is present where it is present on the product codes. On the products, you may have seen the items that are being scanned by the barcode readers. So they are containing the check digits, and the check digits can do what? They can detect incorrect digit being entered. For example, if I've entered 157 instead of 167, it is able to perform to find out the transposition errors. Transposition errors means switching of the values. Definitely, it can also detect omitted or extra digits in the number, and it can also detect the phonetic errors, like for example 13 or 30. So this is something which is very obvious. If a person is not able to hear the word properly, then he may definitely land into a trouble by using the wrong value. Next method is ARQ. Again, a very important question that is coming repeatedly in the paper. And just remember the two terms. With ARQ, it is acknowledgement and timeout. What is acknowledgement? ARQ is based on two principles. If, for example, the data is sent from my end to your end, your job is to send me an acknowledgement telling me that you have received the data. Whether you have received the data positively, correctly, you will send me a positive acknowledgement. You have received the data, but the data is not correct, then you will send me a negative acknowledgement so that I can resend you the data the way we talk about the same thing repeated in the class. I send you some work, you have understood, fine. Say miss, thumbs up, understood. You don't understand, you give me no miss, need some more explanation. That is going to be again the same thing that you are doing. Acknowledgement, and by the way, I'm not going to expect acknowledgement to be received immediately, and that is called the timeout. And that is the time that is required to be elapsed before acknowledgement is received. And that is something that is really true. I'm not going to expect the acknowledgement to come immediately from your end. I have to wait for some time. And that is called the timeout. By the way, an important thing, if for example, I kept on waiting for how long? Maybe a certain time, maybe a minute. I'm just giving an example. After a minute and still no acknowledgement is received. So I, being a teacher here, will resend the packet, will resend the data. Same case goes with the computer. Computer waited for the timeout time. It didn't receive any acknowledgement. It means it was assumed that the data was not received accurately. So it will resend the data. And this retransmission or resending will take place to a certain extent. It will never happen unlimited times. And that is the whole process that is called ARQ, automatic repeat request. And again, a sincere advice. If you know it, fine, write it down, the full form. Otherwise, just write the shorter form and that is perfectly okay. Explain how ARQ can be used to detect errors following data transmission. Explain why echo check is not a very reliable method. So just be clear. They ask you maybe one more question. Which method is not reliable? So you will simply write echo check. Parity is perfect to a certain extent reliable. The Checksum is definitely much more reliable. ARQ is reliable, but EchoCheck is not reliable. You can see for yourself. Like I'll be definitely the books are with you. The book is available, and you can download it and you can have a look at it. So very quickly you can go through the answers yourself also, and you can see that why the answer is a high level answer. Fine. Now moving to the exam style questions, there are a few exam style questions which you can attempt for your benefit, and inshallah you'll be able to score decent marks at least in this chapter's questions also. Now the last topic of this chapter is encryption. Why encryption is done? Firstly, encryption is needed so that you can scramble the data, so that the data becomes meaningless to the hackers. Remember, encryption results in making the data meaningless. Encryption is converting the plain text, which is the original text, into ciphertext, which is the encrypted text. And with this encryption, what happens? The data will not be understood by the hacker. Remember, only the person with the right decryption key is going to decrypt the message. So with this concept, we need to know the first point. The first term is plain text, which is the original text. Second one is the ciphertext, which is the converted text or the encrypted text. And then we talk about the symmetric and asymmetric. What is symmetric encryption? It's basically, you talk about symmetric is simply not a reliable method, not a very suitable method to be used because it is only using a one key, and that is the public key. The same key is used for encrypt the message and the same key is used for decrypt the message. And this is traveling along with the data over the network, and hacker can intercept, hacker can get the data, can hold of the data along with the key, and since the key is with the data, so hacker can do anything with the data. But when you talk about the asymmetric encryption, that is using the public and the private key is only known to me as a user. You have encrypted a message for me, sent me the message. I will be decrypting using the private key. And since it is private key that is meant to open the message, that's why even if the public key is traveling over the network, the message will not be decrypted because it is secure. It will only be decrypted by the person, by the computer, which has the private key. So the matching public and private key are present only with one, and then it will be making your document or your message very secure. Now, a question, explain why asymmetric is safer than symmetric encryption while sending data over the network, over the internet. And here you can see very quickly I'm going through this. When using symmetric encryption, it is difficult to keep the encryption key a secret. For example, it needs to be sent in an email or a text message, which can be intercepted. Therefore, the issue of security is always there since only a single encryption key is used for both the sender and the recipient. With asymmetric, two keys called the public key and the private key are used when the two users wish to share a document. They both use the same algorithm to generate their own matching pairs of keys, which they must keep stored on their computer. The matching pairs only are mathematically linked but cannot be derived from each other. One user sends the public key, which is used to encrypt the document. When this encrypted document is sent back, is received, the recipient is going to use their own private key to decrypt the message. So you can see the flow, the way, the same explanation as we discussed. The same is done here but by the child, and he will be able to score decently because he explained it well. Just be clear, describe, explain. These terms need to be explained very well by you people in order to score marks. Okay, now that is the end of the chapter, and then it is the exam style questions. So inshallah, in the next class, we'll talk about another chapter. Till that time, any query that you have, please generate. Otherwise, I'm going to end the session for today. Any questions? Okay, fine. If there are no questions, then Jazakallah khain kasira for being a part of the learning journey. Hope that you have understood each and everything. Still, if there is any query, then you can generate it, and we are going to resolve your matter. Inshallah, take care of yourselves. Allah Hafiz, and Allah bless you.